This is Mavic Air 2. You may have some questions, like,
So what's different?
well, let's start with the larger sensor. There's a lot more pixels, 48 megapixels to be exact, which means you can do this. And then shoot a hyperlapse in 8K. With SmartPhoto, every shot is a masterpiece.
Yeah, but photos aren't really my thing.
Don't worry, we've got you covered. It also does 4K 60p video. You can also slow things down. Way-do. And yes, there's HDR video.
How's the flight time?
It's fantastic. You're looking at up to 34 minutes in the air, a new record for the Mavic series. We've added OcuSync 2.0, so you can fly longer and see clearer.
What if I'm not a great pilot?
That's where FocusTrack comes in, so you can fly like a pro. Or just press a button. Here's the best part: automatic obstacle avoidance.
Okay, but what do I do with all these shots?
Here's an idea. Use the DJI Fly app to edit and share your moments with just a tap. So, what's different? A whole lot.
In this video, we will unbox Mavic Air 2, introducing you to everything that comes with this awesome drone. For this unboxing, we'll be showing you the contents of the Mavic Air 2 combo. First things first, let's open up this box and take a look at the aircraft. Go ahead and unfold the drone's arms, and then remove the gimbal protector. Mavic Air 2 has two different types of motors and propellers that pair up. It's essential to make sure the right propeller is attached to the corresponding motor. Attach the propellers with the silver markings to the motors with silver markings. Likewise, the propellers without any markings should go on the motors without markings. Remember to check that everything is firmly attached to ensure a safe flight. Take out the control sticks from the convenient storage spot at the bottom of the controller, and then screw them in place. Extend the mobile device clamp. You'll find that's where the RC cable is stored. The cable on the right with an icon marks the end that should connect with the remote controller. The other end of the cable on the left should be used to connect to your smartphone. The RC cable that comes in the box is a lightning cable. If you need a different type of connector, there are more options available in the accessory kit. Unplug the connector with the RC icon, then insert the new connector with an icon into the port on the right side of the remote controller. Take out the connector from the left and unwind it to the right, making sure it's behind the non-slip pads of the clamp. Place your smartphone inside the clamp with the charging port on the right side. Tighten the clamp, making sure everything is secure, and then connect the RC cable to your smartphone. To store, wind the connector cable around the clamp and insert the other end into the port. And there you go, you're all set up. Connect to and charge with the battery cable for about a minute to activate the battery. Insert the battery into the battery compartment. You should hear a click, which means the battery is secure. Press once, then again, and hold to turn on the remote controller and the aircraft. When you're done flying and capturing epic shots, turn off the aircraft and the remote controller by pressing and holding the power button for 2 seconds. Before you head out, remember to fold the arms, put the gimbal protector back on, and put the aircraft back inside the shoulder bag. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Hello and welcome back to Mavic Air 2 tutorials. In this video, we will show you how to prepare for your first flight, making sure you know the basics before takeoff. Please make sure the remote controller is set to normal mode. Ensure the propellers are properly attached. The battery is secure and the gimbal protector has been removed. First, download the DJI Fly app. Access the App Store in your smartphone. Search for DJI Fly and then download the app. Activating the aircraft. Lucky for you, Mavic Air 2 and the remote controller come already linked. All you have to do is open the DJI Fly app and follow the instructions to activate the aircraft. Before flight, once you've found a great location for takeoff, place Mavic Air 2 on level ground. Remember that the aircraft should be facing outward with the rear closest to you. Open up the DJI Fly app. Make sure the aircraft and remote controller are linked, and then tap Go Flight. Tap Safety and set the RTH height higher than the tallest building or object near you. Set the RC mode to normal before takeoff. Tap the auto takeoff icon at the left side of the screen. Tap and hold the icon that pops up, and then Mavic Air 2 will automatically take off. After takeoff, the icon will change to auto landing for when you decide to land. When it's time for Mavic Air 2 to land, tap the auto landing icon and hold. Then Mavic Air 2 will automatically land. If you prefer to do things manually, hold both control sticks all the way to the bottom of the controller and then push inwards or outwards. When the propellers start to rotate, gently push the left control stick up and Mavic Air 2 will take off. Keep in mind that the left control stick is used to control your flying altitude and the direction Mavic Air 2 is facing. The right joystick is used to enable the aircraft to fly forward, backward, and to either side. If you have powered on the motors, but the aircraft has not taken off, hold down the left control stick and the motors will power off. If Mavic Air 2 is already in the air, hold down the left control stick and the aircraft will begin to land. You can also view flight information such as distance flown and speed at the bottom of the screen. Tap the icon at the right side of the screen to take photos, videos, or quick shots. Tap the gallery icon to view or download photos and videos. The camera parameter menu at the bottom right can be used to adjust parameters. You can also adjust the gimbal pitch and control camera by using the gimbal dial and the shutter record button. Tap the RTH button on the left side of the screen and hold, or press the RTH button on the remote controller and hold to initiate RTH. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Now, enjoy your first flight with Mavic Air 2. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Hello, let's dive right into this tutorial on Mavic Air 2 firmware updates. For a better flying experience, we recommend you update to the latest firmware. In this video, we'll show you how to update the firmware with both the DJI Fly app and DJI Assistant 2. Make sure your drone's battery level is more than 40% of the total power before updating the firmware. Let's get started. To update using the DJI Fly app, power on the aircraft and remote controller. Make sure the remote controller has been linked to the aircraft. Next, make sure your smartphone is connected to Wi-Fi. The DJI Fly app will check for new firmware updates automatically. Pretty nifty, huh? After the prompt for a new update appears, tap Start Update. Do not power off the device or exit the app during the update. After the update is finished, the aircraft will restart automatically. And there you have it. You have successfully updated the firmware. Next up, we're going to go over updating the aircraft and remote controller separately with DJI Assistant 2. Power on your aircraft and connect it to your computer with a USB cable. Launch DJI Assistant 2. Log into your DJI account and select the connected device. Tap Firmware Update from the menu on the left side. Wait until the firmware list is shown on the screen. Select the latest firmware version and then tap Upgrade. Do not power off the aircraft, exit DJI Assistant 2, or disconnect from the internet during the update. After the update is finished, the aircraft will restart automatically. For the remote controller, the steps are quite similar. Power it on, then connect the remote controller to your computer with a USB cable. Select the connected device and the latest firmware version to start. Remember not to power off the aircraft, exit DJI Assistant 2, or disconnect from Wi-Fi during the update. And that's it. Thanks for watching Mavic Air 2 tutorials. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Thank you for watching. Mavic Air 2 comes with a newly designed remote controller for improved user experience. In this video, we will introduce the features and functions of the Mavic Air 2 remote controller. Starting from the right, there is the power button, flight mode switch, and RTH button. Power button. Press the power button once to check the battery level of the remote controller. Press twice and hold for 2 seconds to power the remote controller on or off. Flight mode switch. From left to right, the flight mode switch controls 3 modes that you can manually select. Make sure the switch is set to normal mode, which is the center setting. Press and hold the RTH button until the remote controller beeps to initiate RTH. The drone will fly back to the last recorded home point. Press again to cancel RTH. The customizable button is at the top left of the remote controller. Press the customizable button once to turn on the auxiliary bottom light, and then press it again to turn off the light. Press the customizable button twice to recenter the gimbal. You can customize the functions of this button in the app depending on your needs and preferences. Press the photo video toggle in the upper right corner once to switch between taking a photo or recording a video. Press the shoot record button at the top to take a photo or record a video. Use the gimbal dial to control camera tilt. Thank you for watching the Mavic Air 2 remote controller tutorial. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Thank you for watching. Quick Shots is a shooting mode for Mavic Air 2, which automatically captures excellent videos wherever you go. In this video, you will learn about various quick shots, including drone, rocket, helix, circle, boomerang, asteroid. At the end, we will show you how you can share all that you've captured with video playback and sharing. Before using quick shots, make sure the drone is in normal mode. Also, make sure you are flying in an obstacle-free, open area. If you're not familiar with the planned flight route, we suggest that you start with something shorter. Take off and let the drone hover at least 2 meters above the ground. Tap the shooting mode icon at the right side of the app and select quick shots. Drone. Select drone and set the maximum flight distance. You can wave at the drone to automatically select the subject and start shooting right away. You can also tap or frame the subject on the screen. Next, tap Start to begin shooting. The drone will fly backward and descend with the camera locked on the subject. Once the shooting is finished, the aircraft will fly back to its original position. Rocket. Select Rocket and set the maximum flight height. Next, tap Start to begin shooting. The aircraft will ascend with the camera pointing downward. Once the shooting is finished, the aircraft will fly back to its original position. Circle. Select Circle and set the circle direction. Next, tap Start to begin shooting. The aircraft will begin recording while flying in a circle around the subject, using the current distance as the radius. Helix. Select Helix and set the maximum flight radius. Next, tap Start to begin shooting. The distance between your current position and the subject will be used as the original radius. The aircraft will then ascend and spiral around the subject. Once the shooting is finished, the aircraft will fly back to its original position. Boomerang. Select Boomerang. Next, tap Start to begin shooting. The aircraft will then fly and shoot around the subject along an oval path. Asteroid. Select Asteroid and set the maximum flight distance. Next, tap Start to begin shooting. The aircraft will then fly backward, ascend to the set distance, and hover to capture an incredible panorama. Once the shooting is finished, the aircraft will fly back to its original position. When finished shooting, tap the X on the right side of the app, or press the RTH button on the remote controller to exit quick shots. Then the drone will hover. It should be noted that accidentally touching the control stick will also stop the quick shot. After shooting, tap the playback icon in the app to view the captured video. Tap the switch button in the lower right corner to switch between the original clip and the generated video. Tap the download icon in the bottom left corner to save the original clip or the generated video to your smartphone. You can also tap the edit icon in the lower right corner to edit the original clip or the generated video. Tap the share icon in the upper right corner to share what you have captured with friends. And there you go! Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Thank you for watching. If the status indicator of the aircraft blinks yellow quickly when powered on, linking is required to control the aircraft with the remote controller. This tutorial contains linking the remote controller with the DJI Fly app, linking the remote controller with combination button, power on the aircraft, connect the mobile device with the remote controller, and open up the DJI Fly app. Tap Connect Aircraft at the bottom right to enter the connection interface. Next, tap Settings, and then tap Connect Aircraft at the bottom of the control page. The linking process will start when the remote controller beeps. Press and hold the power button for about 4 seconds, then release it after it begins beeping. The battery indicator will activate, and the aircraft will begin the linking process. When the remote controller stops beeping, the app will display the image transmission screen, indicating that the linking was successful. You can also link the remote controller with combination buttons by simultaneously pressing the customizable button, the photo video button, and the shutter record button at the top. The remote controller will start to beep after 2 seconds. Then you can begin the linking process. Press and hold the power button for approximately 4 seconds and release it once it begins to beep. The aircraft will start the linking process. When the remote controller stops beeping, the app will display the image transmission screen, indicating that the linking was successful. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Thank you for watching. FocusTrack is an incredible intelligent mode that allows you to fully unleash your creativity with Mavic Air 2. In this video, we go over how to use Spotlight, Active Track, Point of Interest. Note, before enabling FocusTrack, make sure the flying environment is clear and free of obstacles. FocusTrack supports 3 flight modes, and we'll introduce how to use each one. First, take off and hover at an appropriate altitude. FocusTrack is enabled by default when you enter camera view. After the target subject is locked, you can select a FocusTrack mode. Have your subject wave their arms facing Mavic Air 2, and the camera will automatically recognize and frame the subject. Or simply tap on or frame the subject. Tap the shutter record button in the app or on the remote controller to start shooting photos or recording videos. You can operate the control sticks to adjust the distance between Mavic Air 2 and the subject. Adjust the composition with the gimbal dial or left control stick. Active Track, which includes 2 modes, Track and Parallel. Manually tap or frame the subject on the screen after selecting Track. The aircraft will track the subject at a consistent distance. Tap the shutter record button in the app or on the remote controller to take a photo or start recording a video. During flight, Mavic Air 2 automatically detects the distance from the aircraft to obstacles in front of and behind it, and if Mavic Air 2 loses track of the subject, as it will just hover in place. After you have your subject selected and ready to go, after selecting Parallel mode, Mavic Air 2 will track the subject at a constant angle and distance from the side. Tap the shutter record button in the app or on the remote controller to take a photo or start recording a video. If the aircraft loses track of the subject, it will simply hover in place. Start off by having Mavic Air 2 hover at an appropriate altitude. Simply tap on or frame the subject. Select the POI icon. Set the flight direction and speed, and the aircraft will fly around the subject according to the set flight direction at the current flight altitude. Tap the shutter record button in the app or on the remote controller to start shooting photos or recording videos. While flying, just tap stop or press the RTH button on the remote controller and Mavic Air 2 will exit FocusTrack. And that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Thank you for watching. Use the propeller guard for Mavic Air 2 for safer flight. Before using for the first time or taking off indoors or in a narrow environment, please attach the propeller guard. Mounting the propeller guard. Take out the propeller guard, unlock the 4 buckles, and place it facing upwards. Letter markings can be found inside each base. Connect the LF part with the LB part. Then connect the RF part with the RB part in the same way. Unfold the frame arms of the aircraft. Put the landing gears into the corresponding bases. Push down to fix, then lock the buckles. When you hear a click, the buckle is locked. Detaching the propeller guard. Open the front and rear buckles. Push the propeller guard down gently and separate it from the aircraft. And the propeller guard will detach from the aircraft. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Thank you for watching. Mavic Air 2 features 4 hyperlapse modes: free, circle, course lock, and waypoint. Each mode performs a different flight trajectory and lens angle to satisfy your creative requirements for a variety of scenarios. When framing the shot, do not position Mavic Air 2 too close to the foreground, or your footage may be unstable. After framing your composition, tap Hyperlapse. Tap Free. Then set the photo interval, video length, and maximum flight speed, and the aircraft will automatically calculate the required shooting time. Tap the button on the right side of the screen to start recording. When shooting in free mode, you can control the aircraft's attitude and the gimbal's tilt angle. Circle mode allows the aircraft to circle your subject while shooting a video. Tap Circle. Then set the photo interval, video length, flight speed, and direction of the circle. After selecting your target, tap the button on the right side of the screen. The aircraft will automatically calculate and plan the flight route, and then begin recording. In course lock mode, after locking the orientation, the aircraft will fly in the direction it is facing. After selecting your subject, tap the button on the right side of the screen. The aircraft will follow the subject while shooting. Regardless of the way Mavic Air 2 is facing, the aircraft will fly straight in the set direction. Even if you don't select a subject, the aircraft will fly straight in the set direction and shoot a perfect course lock video. Waypoint Hyperlapse. In waypoint mode, the aircraft automatically flies and records along a preset route. Tap Waypoint and fly the drone to a designated location. Change the aircraft's yaw angle and gimbal's tilt angle to capture different perspectives. tap the button on the right side of the screen. Then, the aircraft will automatically calculate and plan the flight route and begin recording. After shooting is finished, Mavic Air 2 will automatically compose a Hyperlapse video for you. You can check the video by tapping the playback button. You can also edit the video with the edit function at the bottom right. Don't forget to tap the share button at the top right to share your best moments with friends. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Thank you for watching. ND filters provide you with an improved creative experience. To better satisfy the aerial shooting needs of different users, Mavic Air 2 features two specific ND filter kits: ND 16, 64 to 56, and ND 4, 8, 32. Between the two, the ND 16, 64 to 56 filter kit provides wider coverage, highlight suppression, shutter speed adjustment, and prolonged exposure shooting. This kit is also included in the Fly More combo. Additionally, the ND 4, 8, 32 kit was launched to satisfy the needs for advanced videos, which requires finer adjustment of the shutter speed. This kit allows you to keep your ISO lower in complex lighting conditions to obtain the purest picture. How to install and remove ND filters. First, hold the original protective filter of the camera with your fingers and press and rotate it counterclockwise to remove. Next, align the ND filter with the mount on the camera. Press it firmly and rotate the ND filter clockwise to a horizontal angle to complete the filter replacement. Take your content to the next level today. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Thank you for watching. Mavic Air 2 Basic Coloring Tutorial. In this video, you will learn how to color the D-Cinelike aerial footage shot with the Mavic Air 2. What is displayed on the screen is the raw footage shot at D-Cinelike. Compared with Rec. 709, this color mode brings not only fast and convenient shooting experience, but also retains more details for post-processing. The tutorial is based on DaVinci as the coloring tool, aiming to provide a detailed demonstration on how to color D-Cinelike footage after shooting, and a guide with basic coloring skills. First, click to enter the color interface. You can refer to the scopes and adjust the footage till it's correctly exposed. Click the scopes. Observe how the footage is exposed on parade and waveform. It shows that all of the three color channels are pretty much in the middle tone, without overexposure or underexposure issues in the highlight and lowlight parts, ideal for post-processing. After analyzing the raw footage, it's time to start the primary correction and prepare for more stylized and creative grading coming up next. Add a serial node and open the primary's wheels. Pull down the lift. Push up the gain and slightly increase the gamma to enhance the sense of depth. Strengthen the color contrast to further distinguish shadows and highlights. Then adjust the pivot of the contrast controls to make the footage evenly exposed. Add another serial node to adjust white balance and correct the footage to the true colors as it is. Lower the temperature and tint, where you can observe the clouds in the sky or the waveform for reference. When you see little color in the highlight part, it means the footage has been adjusted to proper white balance. Add a new serial node and enhance saturation to make the colors more vivid. Coloring is mostly done after primary correction. For users preferring natural colors, it is ready for export. But if you want to make your footage stand out with a unique style, You can move on to color grading for stylized creation and detailed editing. This is an advanced step, which requires users to have a deep understanding on the relations between the texture, color style, and emotions of the footage. Add a serial node. Go to the Curves section and pull the middle tone down a bit to create a stronger sense of depth for the midtones. Open the Hue versus Hue curve. Find the blue part of the curve and drag it slightly to the left to make the sky color lighter. Switch to Hue versus Saturation curve. Pull down the saturation of the blue sky and red ground to create a sense of space. Switch to the Hue versus Luminance curve. Lower the brightness of red and blue colors to align the hues of the footage as a whole. Add a new serial node, and use the eyedropper tool to isolate the clouds. Since the clouds are in the highlight part with clearly high luminance, you can isolate the clouds by directly adjusting the range of luminance in the qualifier. Adjust the value of L-soft. Reduce the noise and increase the blur radius. Then use the mask to remove the excess parts. Reduce saturation. Lower the midtones. And pull up the brightness to add more details to the clouds and make the sky clearer. Add a new serial node. Use the round mask to select the middle part of the frame. Push up the master curve to increase the brightness of the midtones, so as to strengthen the depths of the frame. Add another serial node. Link the layer key of the previous node to the new node. Do a reverse selection. Pull down the curve to reduce the brightness and create a strong contrast in the footage. Add a new serial node. Increase MD value. Open the Sharpen window and increase the sharpness to make the depths and details of the frame prominent. Add a new serial node. Select Vignette. Adjust the parameters to a proper range so that the figures in the middle can stand out. This is the last step of coloring. Let's do a quick review of the content in this video. We spent the first 3 nodes on primary correction and switched to stylized and creative grading with the rest nodes. That's all for this coloring tutorial for aerial footage. If you encounter any questions when using our products, do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Thank you for watching. This tutorial is based on using Adobe Premiere as a coloring tool, while providing a detailed demonstration on how to color D-Cinelike footage. What is displayed is raw footage shot with D-Cinelike. First, go to Workspaces and select Color. Open Lumetri Scopes on the left side of the interface, which helps you to read the colors and correct the exposure of the footage. Observe the current brightness of the footage through the RGB waveform type. It shows that all 3 color channels are basically the middle tone, not over or underexposed. After analyzing the raw footage, it's time to start primary corrections. Open Basic Correction. Drag the black slider to the left to trim the blacks. Next, drag the whites to the right to increase the white points. and then drag the shadows slider to the left to darken the shadows. And slide the highlights a bit to the right to increase the highlight, enhancing the sense of depth. Last, strengthen the color contrast to further distinguish shadows and highlights. Open Color Wheels and Match, pull down the middle tone and push up the highlight to increase the contrast of the footage. Go back to basic correction. Click the WB selector under the white balance and take samples from the white or gray part in the footage. Then slide the temperature and tint to the left to make the color temperature cooler and the hue bluer, as they should be. Next, increase the saturation of the footage to make colors more vivid. Coloring is mostly done after primary correction. Let's do color grading for even more creativity and details. First, we are going to apply a lumetri color look, which is convenient for post-processing. Next, open the RGB curves. Click on the curves directly and drag around to adjust the tint, giving a punch of contrast to the footage. Next, open the hue versus hue curve. Find the blue part of the curve and adjust it up to cyan. The blue and green on the screen are increasing, and the color of the sky gradually appears cyan after mixing. Switch back to hue versus saturation curve. Increase the saturation of the blue sky to create a sense of depth. Last, switch to hue versus luma curve and pull down the brightness of yellow and blue to align the hue of the footage as a whole. Open the HSL secondary controls. Since the main color of the clouds is white, click the white color swatches, selecting this preset color as a starting point. Then isolate the clouds by directly adjusting the range of luminance in the qualifier, for the reason that the clouds are in the highlight part with clearly high luminance. Slide the denoise to the right to soften the clouds, and increase the blur to make the clouds better blend in the sky. Then adjust the temperature and pull down the contrast and saturation to add more details to the clouds and make the sky clearer. Click Creativity and increase the sharpness to make the depths and details more prominent. Apply another lumetri color look and frame the figures in the footage with the free draw Bezier for follow-up adjustments. Increase exposure first. Pull down the contrast and bring up the highlight and shadow. Then we are going to track the targets by using mask tracking and click the mask path setting under the mask. When the tracking is over, you may need to adjust it a little bit. The last step is to add a vignette effect to the footage. Open Vignette. Adjust the parameters so that the figures in the middle stand out. Looking back at this tutorial, we first finished primary corrections, correcting the colors as they're supposed to be in camera, and then perform creative stylized color grading. Last, do the color grading for even more details. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI gear, feel free to contact us via Facebook Messenger by following the link in the description. Thank you for watching.